So what if I told you that your brain is actually physically wired, like right now, to completely ignore almost everything good that happens to you today?
It sounds wild, but yeah, it's completely true.
Seriously. I mean, evolutionarily speaking, gratitude is just this massive blind spot for human beings. So welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is to show you exactly how to, hack your own neurochemistry, to actually build a gratitude muscle.
Right, because usually when we think about working out, we picture um, sweat, we picture treadmills.
Getting tired, lifting heavy things until your muscles ache, yeah.
Exactly. It's this very physical, deliberate process. You wouldn't just sit on your couch, think really hard about having strong arms, and suddenly expect to get biceps, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice, but no.
You understand that you have to actually put in the reps.
Yeah.
It requires intentional effort.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because when you look at how we treat our emotional health, specifically something like gratitude, that active gym mindset just kind of
It
vanishes.
totally disappears.
Right. We treat gratitude like it's a weather condition. We wake up and think, "Oh, I hope I feel grateful today." Or we just assume that muttering a quick thanks when someone, holds the elevator door is enough to keep us mentally fit.
Which is, I mean, it's the absolute definition of a passive approach to your own well-being.
Yeah.
We just wait around for the good feelings to happen to us.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating here is the sheer necessity of flipping that script, especially when you look at our biology. Evolution gave us what psychologists call a negativity bias.
Right, the negativity bias.
Yeah. Think about our ancient ancestors, right, walking through the jungle. If they paused to notice a beautiful, vibrant flower, well, that wasn't going to keep them alive.
Oh, you'd get eaten.
Exactly. But noticing the subtle rustling in the bushes, the potential tiger that kept them alive.
Oh.
So we are biologically designed to detect danger, criticism, and problems instantly.
We are essentially like Velcro for the bad stuff and Teflon for the good stuff.
Precisely. It is why we can remember a single embarrassing failure from, I don't know, 10 years ago vividly, but we completely brush off a compliment someone gave us yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. I still cringe about things from high school.
We all do. Our
Yeah.
brains are just trying to protect us, but in the modern world, that constant threat detection just leaves us exhausted. It leaves us anxious.
And that is exactly where today's source material comes in, because we are exploring this brilliant framework from Dr. Pumcheng Carr's Mindful Gym program.
Yes, it's fantastic.
He created this concept that treats gratitude not as a lucky emotion, but as an active mental workout. And it beautifully marries Eastern mindfulness with Western clinical research, like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, positive psychology, and neuroscience.
And what I love is that it doesn't disparage any single psychological model.
Mm.
It just brings them together into this incredibly practical daily routine.
Right. And the core formula for this routine is called the Google www Yahoo Gratitude Workout.
It's an incredibly catchy name, honestly, for a very profound psychological tool.
Yeah.
And practicing this workout literally creates neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
You are physically changing how your brain pays attention.
So let's break down that core formula for everyone listening. Step 1 is Google, meaning you actively search your life, you search your day for something good. You type the query into your own brain.
Right, you initiate the search.
Exactly. Then step 2 is www. And I have to give a quick public service announcement here. When we say www, we mean what went well. Please, for the love of all things, do not go on the internet and actually Google what women want.
Oh my goodness, no.
That is a completely different rabbit hole, and we
Yeah.
do not have the time to rescue you from it today.
A very necessary disclaimer, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, what went well is the fundamental question. You are forcing your brain to retrieve a positive data point.
Right. And finally, step 3 is Yahoo, which means taking that positive thing you just found and truly celebrating the discovery with genuine appreciation.
You really feel it.
Yeah. Google the good, ask what went well, and Yahoo. Celebrate it. But here's the thing. Knowing the formula is easy. Actually applying it when your life feels overwhelmingly negative. That is where it gets tough.
That's the real challenge.
Right. So the Mindful Gym program gives us 8 distinct ways to multiply this joy, 8 ways to apply this workout in different life situations. Let's start with how we handle the bitter moments. The first concept is called Techam, which represents finding gratitude through balance.
Yes. So for those who might not be familiar, Techam is a very popular Malaysian drink. It is a mix of coffee and tea.
Oh, okay.
So you have the profound bitterness of the coffee, perfectly blended with the comforting sweetness of the tea.
The idea being that life is exactly like this drink. But I have to push back here for a second and play devil's advocate.
Go for it.
If I'm having a truly terrible, painful day, maybe I'm going through a brutal breakup or I'm dealing with a scary health crisis, isn't looking for the sweetness just like toxic positivity?
That's a great point.
Isn't it just slapping a smiley face sticker over a gaping wound and pretending I'm fine?
I am so glad you brought that up because this raises an important question, and it is a completely valid, deeply human concern. When you are in deep emotional pain, having someone tell you to just look on the bright side, it feels incredibly dismissive.
It feels hurtful.
It does. But the Techam mindset is absolutely not about toxic positivity. It is not about ignoring the bitter coffee or pretending the bitterness doesn't exist. It validates your pain fully.
Okay.
However, from a CBT perspective, it is designed to correct a specific cognitive error known as mental filtering.
And how does mental filtering work, like in that moment of pain?
Well, when we are suffering, our brains naturally filter out everything except the pain. We develop tunnel vision. We see only the dark.
That makes sense.
The Techam concept gently reminds you that life is rarely 100% bitter. Even on the darkest, most painful day of your life, a stranger might have held an elevator door for you.
Or you might have felt the warmth of a gut sweater.
Exactly. Deliberately noticing that one tiny moment of sweetness doesn't erase the bitter. I mean, you are still grieving, you are still hurting, but it stops your brain from being entirely consumed by fear and despair.
It just gives you a little breathing room.
Exactly. It weakens that fear-based processing center just enough to restore some balance.
That makes so much sense. It's not about replacing the bad, it's just making sure the good is allowed to stay in the picture.
Right.
And if Techam helps us see the sweet alongside the bitter in the present moment, we can actually take that a step further by looking backward. Which brings us to the second way to multiply gratitude, the sour-sweet approach.
Contrast.
Yes,
Wow.
because our brains are incredibly relative machines. We understand things through contrast. Think about eating a massive spoonful of incredibly sour lemon sorbet and then immediately taking a bite of simple vanilla ice cream.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That vanilla is going to taste exponentially sweeter, richer, and more intense than if you had just eaten it on its own.
Exactly. We evaluate our current experiences based on what came before them. So, the mental workout here is to deliberately reflect on your own past hardships.
Okay.
Think about an illness you've recovered from, a time when you had no money, or a period of intense loneliness.
But again, this isn't about guilt-tripping yourself, right? Like, oh, I shouldn't be sad because I used to have it worse.
Not at all, no.
Yeah.
It is a neurological tool to restore perspective. When you take a moment to vividly remember a time when you were, say, bedridden with a terrible flu, shivering and miserable.
The worst.
Right. But suddenly, the simple fact that you can breathe clearly through your nose today feels like an absolute luxury.
Yes.
The contrast of the sour past makes the sweet present incredibly precious. You are using your own history to flavor your current reality.
Okay, so hardships provide this powerful contrast, but what about when life isn't necessarily hard, but just, well, flat?
Like boredom.
Yeah, what happens when we are just bored? How do we find gratitude in the mundane, repetitive routines of everyday life, like doing the dishes or commuting to work?
Yeah.
That brings us to the third concept, impermanence. Being mindful of change.
Mindfulness teaches us a very simple, unavoidable truth. Absolutely everything changes. Children grow up, health fluctuates, the seasons turn, and our problems eventually they shift and change too.
Yeah.
Now, often we find the idea of impermanence completely terrifying, right? And we want the good things to stay frozen in time forever.
Wait, I have to jump in here because the source material flips this idea completely, but it is a tough mental pivot. Are you saying that the fact that, say, my dog is getting older, which usually makes me feel incredibly sad, is the exact mechanism I'm supposed to use to appreciate him more today?
That is precisely what it means, and it is profound.
Wow.
Impermanence is actually the very thing that gives an ordinary moment its value. Think about a sunset.
Okay.
A sunset is breathtaking precisely because it only lasts for a few minutes. If the sky looked like that 24/7, we wouldn't even look up.
Just ignore it.
Right. A loved one's laugh or your dog greeting you at the door is priceless.
Yeah.
Because we know, on a fundamental level, it won't last forever.
That's beautiful.
And CBT uses this concept of impermanence beautifully to counter catastrophic thinking, too. When you feel stuck in a terrible situation, Mindful Gym offers this mental vitamin. This will also pass.
Right.
It relieves the pressure on the bad while increasing the value of the good.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. If we embrace that impermanence, how do we look at today differently? That is the fourth concept. Beginner's mind or having fresh eyes.
Oh, I love this one.
If you've ever watched a toddler look at like a simple little bug on the sidewalk or play with an empty cardboard box, they are completely mesmerized. Kids never get bored of rain puddles,
Never.
but adults do. And it's not because the puddle got less interesting. It's purely because of familiarity. We've seen it 1,000 times, so our brains just tune it out to save energy.
There is a wonderful quote from the Zen master Shinryu Suzuki. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. So that's great.
Or, as the writer Marcel Proust put it, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. The workout here is to try and experience your highly familiar life as if you were an alien who just dropped down to Earth today.
Be an alien in your own living room.
Yes.
Feel the actual physical warmth of the ceramic coffee mug in your hands. Notice the smell of the pavement right after a summer rain.
Exactly. And let's look at the biology of that. When you intentionally seek out novelty in the familiar, when you really pay attention to that coffee mug, you activate your brain's reward circuitry.
Okay.
You foster curiosity. And positive psychology has proven time and time again that curiosity is one of the strongest predictors of human flourishing and life satisfaction.
Okay, I've got my fresh alien eyes on, but what exactly am I pointing them at? That brings us to the fifth tool, the microscope.
Zooming in.
Yeah, because we spend so much time waiting for the macro blessings to happen. We want the big promotion, the lottery win, the perfect 2-week vacation. We think that will make us grateful, but it rarely lasts.
Exactly. So this tool asks us to zoom way in, to marvel at the tiny miracles we completely ignore. Like the fact that your heart is beating right now without you having to consciously tell it to. The fact that clean, drinkable water magically comes out of a metal tap inside your kitchen.
And here is where a lot of people might be skeptical. You might ask, does noticing a comfortable chair or a nice breeze really change my brain chemistry?
Right.
Does zooming in on something that small actually move the needle on my mental health?
I mean, I am definitely thinking it. It sounds nice on a greeting card, but does it work?
It absolutely works, and we can look to the psychologist Barbara Fredrickson and her broaden and build theory for the explanation.
Broaden and build, okay.
Yeah, so think about what stress does. When you are stressed, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your peripheral vision literally narrows to a pinhole. You can only see the threat in front of you.
You get tunnel vision.
Exactly. Now, if you are constantly using your mental microscope to zoom in on tiny annoyances like the person chewing loudly next to you, the slow Wi-Fi, your brain builds permanent neural pathways for irritation. You stay in that narrowed, stressed state.
But if we use the microscope for gratitude...
Then the opposite happens. When you consistently zoom in on micro blessings, it acts as a biochemical release valve. Those small, fleeting positive emotions accumulate. They physically widen your peripheral vision.
Wow.
They broaden your perspective, allowing your brain to connect disparate ideas and see new solutions, which over time builds lasting psychological resilience. Tiny positive emotions compound into massive strength.
Small hinges swing big doors. I love that. Okay, so we've zoomed in on the present moment. Now, the sixth concept asks us to take a spin. It's called the merry-go-round, and it is all about gratitude through recollection.
Mental time travel.
Yes. The premise here is so incredibly logical when you hear it. Why on earth should you only enjoy a great holiday or a beautiful conversation just once?
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture of how our memory works, we see that depression and anxiety often hijack our mental time travel. At 2 a.m. when you are staring at the ceiling, what is your brain doing?
Oh, it's aggressively replaying every awkward thing I said in like 2018. It is a highlight reel of my cringiest moments.
Exactly. We all ride that negative merry-go-round. Anxiety forces us to constantly replay our failures and embarrassments.
Yes.
But gratitude allows us to deliberately hijack that process for good. When you intentionally sit down and replay a joyful memory, the exact taste of an amazing meal, the warmth of hugging a friend you haven't seen in years, your brain doesn't know the difference between the past and the present.
Wait, really?
Yes. Your synapses fire in many of the exact same ways they did when the event originally happened.
So you are basically squeezing more juice out of the experience.
You are. You already did the work to have the good experience, so why not let those beautiful memories pay emotional dividends over and over again? You just have to force your brain onto the positive merry-go-round.
Okay, so We've learned to balance the bitter and sweet. We've found contrast. We are using fresh eyes to zoom in on small things, and we are replaying the good times.
Well,
But life isn't just about our own internal landscape. How does this mental workout help us navigate our place in the wider, often chaotic world? That brings us to the seventh concept, fertilizer, or gratitude through growth.
this is a powerful one.
Now, I have to say, this is a slightly messy metaphor, but it is brilliantly accurate. Fertilizer stinks. It is literally manure.
It is.
But it is exactly what makes a garden grow.
It is a profound shift in perspective. Think about how fertilizer actually works. It is decaying dead matter that breaks down to release essential nitrogen into the soil.
Okay.
In the same way, human wisdom often grows most rapidly in the soil of suffering. When we experience a failure, our ego breaks down, but that breakdown releases the nitrogen of humility.
Wow.
Illness is terrifying, but surviving it releases deep compassion for others. Loss breaks your heart, but it teaches you to fiercely appreciate what you still have.
And no one is asking you to celebrate the loss itself.
No, that would be absurd. But we can be grateful for the growth it eventually produces.
It fundamentally changes the question we ask ourselves when bad things happen. Instead of the classic victim mindset, why is this happening to me? Why is my life so unfair? Which just keeps you stuck in the mud.
Right. CDT and the Mindful Gym framework suggest an incredibly empowering alternative question. What have I learned?
What have I learned?
Yes. This is what positive psychology calls post-traumatic growth. It is the well-documented phenomenon where people actually find greater meaning, stronger relationships, and deeper appreciation for life because of the severe adversity they faced. They didn't just survive the manure, they used the fertilizer.
That is such a powerful pivot. And speaking of our relationships with others, that leads us perfectly into our final technique, concept number 8, the spider web.
Interdependence.
Gratitude through interdependence, yes. There is a famous African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We love to think of ourselves as these highly independent, self-made individuals who don't need anyone. But the spiderweb concept asks us to look closely at a single, simple cup of tea.
It's an incredible exercise in awareness.
Think about it. Just to drink that one cup of tea in the morning, you are relying on the labor of thousands of strangers. You have the farmers who planted and harvested the leaves.
And you have the factory workers who manufactured the cardboard box the tea came in.
Exactly. And the mechanics who fixed the truck for the driver who transported it across the country.
And the engineers at the water treatment plant ensuring you have clean water. And the electrical workers keeping the power grid running so you can boil your kettle.
You are entirely interconnected. You are held up by a massive, invisible web of human effort.
And the neuroscience behind recognizing this web is fascinating. When we practice gratitude for our interdependence, it shifts our brain out of the isolated me state and into a collaborative we state.
Oh, I see.
It actually strengthens the brain's capacity for social bonding and trust. It moves gratitude out of your own head and turns it into pro-social behavior.
So it changes how you act.
Absolutely. When you truly realize how much your daily survival depends on the kindness and labor of thousands of strangers, your appreciation naturally transforms into active kindness toward others. You realize you are part of the web and you want to contribute to it.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Let's synthesize this deep dive into 3 main takeaways you can carry with you into your week. Number 1, gratitude is not a mood you wait for. It is an active, brain-changing mental workout.
Put in the reps.
Right. The Google www Yahoo formula, searching for the good, asking what went well, and celebrating it, is your daily gym routine.
And number 2, you have to remember that your brain is naturally biased toward the negative to keep you safe. But you can actively rewire your own neurochemistry using these practical tools. You can find balance when things are bitter, you can look through fresh beginner's eyes, and you can use your mental microscope to zoom in on the tiny, miraculous details of your life.
And number 3, true gratitude completely transforms your relationship with the world around you. It allows you to take the absolute worst, smelliest parts of your life and use them as fertilizer for your own wisdom. And it moves you away from the anxiety of isolation by showing you the incredible spiderweb of human connection that supports you every single day.
So we want to leave you with a direct challenge, a call to action. Tonight, right before you go to sleep, spend just 2 minutes doing the daily workout. Don't just think about doing it, actually do it.
2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes. Google your day, search your memory for something good. Ask yourself www, what went well, and then truly, Yahoo. Celebrate it. Feel the emotion. Let it sink into your synapses.
Put in the reps. Build the muscle. And as you go about your day today, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought straight from the source material to mull over. A question to test the strength of your new gratitude muscle right now.
I love this question.
What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you explicitly thanked the universe for today?
That really changes the perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. Keep working out that perspective. We'll see you on the next deep dive.